Imagine waking up in a world where your every movement, every word, and every thought has a price. You reach for your phone to check your messages, but you notice a small notification. Your public reliability score has dropped. You try to buy a coffee, but your digital payment is rejected. You try to book a train ticket, but the app tells you that your travel privileges have been suspended. This is the reality of the digital social credit system. While the world was distracted by traditional warfare, military intelligence agencies shifted their focus to a much more effective battlefield. The human mind and social behavior. The goal is no longer to conquer territory by force, but to manage populations through a web of algorithms and constant surveillance. This invisible cage is designed to monitor and punish anyone who does not conform. The origins of this system are in secret military strategy labs. For decades, intelligence agencies have studied behavioral engineering, the science of changing how people act, without them even realizing it. They realize that physical force is expensive and leads to rebellion. But if you create a system where people police themselves out of fear, you achieve total control with zero resistance. At the heart of this system is a network of high-definition cameras. With facial recognition, these are linked to a central military AI that tracks your social compliance. In certain zones, if you cross the street at a red light or talk to someone with a low score, the AI logs Italiano. Within seconds, your digital identity is updated and your standing is lowered. The surveillance also monitors your digital life. Every post you share and every private message you send is analyzed by sentiment analysis. Algorithms to detect subversive thoughts. If the AI decides your digital footprint doesn't align with the interests of the state, your score reflects that. You are effectively being graded on your loyalty every second of the day. The true power of this system is its integration with your finances. We are being pushed into a cashless society because digital money is programmable and easy to track. Tease is the digital kill switch. If your score falls too low, the military-controlled financial grid can freeze your assets. You won't even be able to buy bread. Tease financial weaponization forces people into constant anxiety. It creates a society of informants where people are afraid to associate with anyone who has a low score. Teases guilt by digital association. It destroys social trust and prevents any form of organized dissent that is underproved by the military apparatus. Many in the West think this only happens in authoritarian lands. They are wrong. The Five Eyes Alliance has been building this infrastructure for years under national security labels. Programs like Project Hamilton and CBDC trials are the technical foundations for a Western social credit system. They use big data to build predictive profiles of every citizen. Intelligence agencies can now predict who might be a troublemaker before they even commit a crime. This is pre-crime intelligence based on your digital patterns. The transition is achieved through nudge theory. It starts as a convenience, like a digital ID for healthcare, but slowly it becomes mandatory to function in society. This is a psychological war where the military is no longer guarding borders. They are guarding the thoughts of the population. They use cognitive warfare to shape the narrative. As the grid tightens, military AI is developing gait analysis, recognizing you by how you walk. Even a mask won't hide you from the sensors. We are entering a zero-privacy era where the only safe place is your own mind. But even that is being targeted by Neuralink technologies and brain interface research. The digital prison is being built brick by brick. Through the apps on our phones, it creates a world where no police are needed because the citizens monitor themselves. This global surveillance grid is also powered by predictive analytics. Military AI calculates what you are likely to do in the next 6 months based on your stress levels. Another layer is the social cooling effect. When people know they are being graded, they stop being creative and unique. Society becomes a collection of predictable robots. The Internet of Things, IoT, is a tool for this prison. Your smart fridge, TV, and car are all sensors feeding data into the central military AI. 24 hours a day, military agencies are moving towards biometric encryption. Soon, your heartbeat and iris will be your digital key. You can never leave your identity behind. In the world of social credit, truth is whatever the algorithm says. If the narrative changes, the system lowers the scores of those who hold old, unapproved opinions. Education systems are being integrated too. Children are graded on social attitudes. If a child questions authority, their score starts at a disadvantage, affecting their entire future. Day 5i's network shares this social credit data across borders. If you have a low score in one country, you might end up on a watch list in another automatically. We are seeing the rise of the digital ghettos. People with low scores are forced to live in specific areas and pay higher prices, creating an electronic caste system. Neurosensing. Technology in crowded areas can detect the brain waves of a crowd. If the system senses rebellious energy, it can trigger a local internet shutdown instantly. The role of big tech is crucial. There is a revolving door between tech giants and military intelligence, ensuring the tools of control stay ahead of public awareness. Experts warn that once CBDCs are fully implemented, the social credit system will be permanent. Without physical cash, you are essentially owned by the digital grid. The system uses gamification to make control feel like a game. You get bonus points for reporting neighbors, turning the population into a web of amateur spies. Smart cities are being built as social credit hubs. Every square inch is monitored, and every door requires a digital ID scan that checks your score in real time. The kill switch can also make you invisible. The system can shadow ban you in the real world, preventing your phone from connecting to others, making you a digital ghost. Intelligence agencies call this full-spectrum dominance. It is the ability to control the physical, digital, and psychological space of a nation without a single soldier. Daddy is also the threat of algorithmic bias. If the AI is programmed with prejudice, entire groups can be punished for things they cannot control with no human judge to appeal to. The psychological toll of living in a digital prison is immense. Rates of anxiety skyrocket when people feel they are being constantly judged by an invisible machine. As we approach 2030, the Great Reset is gathering pace. The infrastructure is being laid through international treaties and emergency acts that give the military total power. TRA resistance must be analog. By using cash, reading physical books, and building local communities outside the grid, we can slow down the advance of the digital prison. The system tracks your electricity and water usage. If you use too much according to the AI's climate targets, your score drops and your supply is restricted. Digital passports will soon include your vaccination status, carbon footprint, and political reliability. Without this passport, the world becomes a forbidden zone for you. Eben, your face can be weaponized. In some test zones, you cannot even enter a grocery store unless the camera confirms your identity and your good citizen status. To militaries experimenting with subliminal messaging through social media feeds, this ensures your social score stays high by subtly changing your opinions over time. Voice stress analysis is used during phone calls. The AI listens for signs of dissent or anger in your voice and flags your profile for a manual review by an agent. This system creates a perfect compliant society. People will stop thinking for themselves, because the cost of an independent thought is financial ruin. The digital identity is the new birth certificate. Without it, you do not exist in the eyes of the state, the bank, or the healthcare system. Military-grade drones are being trained to recognize aggressive body language in crowds, allowing the system to arrest low-score individuals before they even speak. Private companies are already using pre-employment scoring. If your social score is low, you will never be hired for a high-paying job, keeping you in a cycle of poverty. The metaverse is the ultimate trap. It allows the military to monitor your behavior in a 100% controlled environment where every action is recorded in a database. We are losing the right to be anonymous. In the digital prison, being anonymous is seen as a sign of criminal intent. This social credit system turns the law into an automatic penalty. There is no courtroom. The fine is deducted from your account the moment the censor sees the violation. Your genetic data may be the next layer. Intelligence agencies are building databases to link your social score to your DNA, creating a biological social credit. Cognitive surveillance is the final frontier. They want to know not just what you do, but why you do it. To ensure your motivations are always in line with the grid uses artificial scarcity. It can limit your access to resources like high-speed internet or travel to reward those with the highest compliance scores. We are moving towards a subscription life. You don't own anything. You just have the right to use it as long as your score remains high enough. 2030 agenda is the deadline. By then, the goal is to have every human being on a single, global, Interoperable social credit ledger. Awareness is the first step of the rebellion. If you know how the cage is being built, you can find the gaps and protect your sovereignty. This social credit system is the ultimate test of humanity. Will you accept your score, or will you fight to remain a free human being?